We're going to be joined in just a second now by Lars Ulrich, the Director of Marketing for Diesel Systems at the Robert Bosch Company. And Lars, come on in.
Hey, John.
I'm glad they got the microphones on you.
How are you?
I'm doing really good. Good seeing you again.
I'm
glad that you're back here with us.
Yeah, thank you for having us here.
Well, I don't know if you've heard some of the interviews, but...
John, welcome to town.
Oh, hey, Dan, good seeing you. But Jim O'Donnell and from BMW North America and Jonathan Browning from Volkswagen sound very bullish on diesels. You must be very pleased to hear that.
Yeah, of course, we're very pleased to hear that. And we actually have a couple of things to celebrate also about.
What? Tell
Bosch
us.
has 125 years of being in business for the automotive side, so that's a big year for us, of being 125 years in there. And then also from the diesel side, we clearly have seen over the last 1.5 years that diesel's take rate have been rising for over 30% in average. And we're happy about this, yes.
I can imagine. All the talk here in Washington seems to be focused on electric cars or, green technology. We don't hear enough about diesels, I don't think.
Well, electrification right now has a large share of media voice. However, there's a lot of good things going on from a clean diesel. I've mentioned obviously the take rate. Another important thing is we actually talked about that today here at the Washington D.C. Auto Show. We have underwritten a study with Carnegie Mellon Institute to understand the total cost of ownership of a clean diesel vehicle. Oh. And interesting enough, since we wanted to understand what the real world impact is, we know already the fuel economy is there on a real world driving basis, but how about the total cost of ownership? And CMU has done a study which basically indicates over a 3-year period, you can save up to $3,600 US with a clean diesel passenger car.
That's significant.
That is a significant number, especially if you put this in relation. For example, Edmunds has done a study and looked at the price premium which the average consumer is paying for a clean diesel here in North America, and it's at $1,800 for a clean diesel vehicle. So that means in terms that in less than 18 months, you basically have a positive total cost of ownership for a clean diesel vehicle, and that's good for an alternative powertrain.
That definitely is. Talk about some of the technology in diesels. Do you have anything new coming? Are you able to take out cost? What's going on?
Well, we are permanently working on new technology. And obviously with the launch of the clean diesels and the Tier 2 Bin 5, that has been a significant step because we have taken up the challenge of the emission regulation and basically introduced clean diesel vehicles. As far as new technology which is down the road, there's a lot of improvements which are ongoing on a peripheral side, start-stop functions to do mild hybrids, for example, but then also further downsizing on the clean diesel engine, downspeeding. Those are all options which further improve the fuel economy.
And how about cost reduction? It's always been impressive to me to see the auto industry come out with new technology. Usually it's very expensive at first, but you let the engineers just keep working on it and they get better and better all the time. Can you talk about any kind of cost reduction?
So the economy of scale is clearly coming in as the volume for these clean diesels is increasing. And as we have previously heard that some of our auto manufacturers or automotive customers are planning of up to 50% take rate for clean diesels, this will further stimulate the economy of scale.
We've got some questions coming in from the chat room. Let's ask some of them. D-Cars wants to know, can clean diesel technology be combined with hybrid technology at a reasonable cost to the consumer?
That is a very good question. And to look into the hybridization, in general from a technical perspective, yes, it can be done. If we look into the market of what today's consumer on average pay for a hybrid vehicle is, and that's based again on Edmunds data, is up to $4,300. If you compare that now with the $1,800 price premium for a clean diesel, and if you take this in correlation with the total cost of ownership, the clean diesel per se without the hybrid has a much quicker amortization phase. So hybridization can come longer down the road. However, from a total cost of ownership perspective, the clean diesel engine as it exists today makes a whole lot of sense.
As you know, diesels are very popular in Europe. In fact, I would say the #1 question I get asked by our viewers all the time is, why can't we get more of those clean diesels here? Do you see a change here in Washington as it pertains to the diesel, that maybe it's getting a better reception?
Yeah, we clearly see a change here in Washington. People become aware that we have to be more technology neutral, so we shouldn't pick a winner too early on. and that we basically have to utilize all technologies which are available, whether it's hybrid, gasoline direct injection, electric vehicles, or clean diesel. And clean diesels in the last 2 years have made significant headway.
And of course, we've seen some of the car companies, Audi, for example, is advertising the diesel's benefits and what you can get with it. I've got to believe that's going to change the public's perception.
That is going to change the public's perception as well, and that's also why we have underwritten, for example, this total cost of ownership. As consumers are really transferring into what at the end of the day do they really pay for that vehicle, the total cost of ownership is an even more important topic. And we even have extended that on the light duty segment. And we're just in the initial phase of evaluating a study which we have conducted. But we have seen that up to 50% of current light-duty owners would be willing, light-duty pickup owners, would be willing to switch to a diesel vehicle. And so there should be more down the road to come.
Do you see any more interest on the part of the domestic auto industry to introduce diesels into light-duty vehicles?
Yes, I think in the next 2 years we will see many more vehicles coming into the market.
Not just from Germany.
From all different brands. So German car manufacturers for sure, which are already in the market, but then we'll see also North American brands coming into the market, and we'll also see Asian brands coming into the market.
Very interestingly, you know, Mazda has said it's not going to put its effort into hybrids, it's going to go with diesel. So even a Japanese maker, that's kind of unexpected, I would think.
Exactly, but that also demonstrates there is a whole lot of sense in this, or that technology makes a whole lot of sense. It's accepted by the consumers, and it helps the OEMs to meet their CAFE regulation, which is an important factor as well.
You mentioned the study that you did with Carnegie Mellon University. Can our viewers get a hold of a copy of that, and if so, where?
Well, we'll put this, this study will be shortly published by CMU, and is for sure available on the CMU webpage for further review.
And how soon? Weeks, months?
I would say within the next months this should be available there.
Okay, that's good to know. What else? What else can you bring us up to speed with regarding diesels?
Well, I guess diesel has a great future in front of them with more stability in the regulatory side. We basically paved the way to really bring diesel cars into North America, and based on the driving pattern of North American customers, it's a perfect way to take that transportation from A to B and do it cost effective as well.
A few years ago, there was so much talk about biodiesel as a fuel. Is there any status update you can give us along those lines?
Yes, renewable fuels are still something which is down for the future to come. And with renewable fuels, there's a lot of talk. Currently, we run blends of renewable fuels with regular fossil fuel. And we're going down the road in the future of having an even higher content of renewable fuels, which helps to further have the independence of the fossil fuel, and that makes also the diesel a long-term sustainable solution.
We've seen in the last few years too, Audi put a tremendous emphasis on racing diesels. Peugeot doing the same at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Do you see that increasing awareness at all in this country? Can you measure any kind of an impact there?
We haven't seen any direct impact. However, enthusiasts which are familiar with that racing environment, they clearly see the benefits of this clean technology which can be implemented also in the racing area. And for sure, like through the through the past activities which we have done with the American Le Mans series, we have seen a significant increase in awareness for clean diesel. Just for example, in the last 3 years, the awareness for clean diesel has been risen by over 60%. And that's a significant jump.
That's a huge jump. So what's next in the diesel market? What should we be on the lookout for here? Or have you already covered that?
Well, I think we will be on the lookout for many more vehicles to come, for broader vehicle choice for the end consumers, and in order to really sustain this, they can actually benefit from the lower total cost of ownership, and that at the end of the day is, I think, to the benefit to the environment, benefit to the wallet, and also stimulates the overall economy.
And that's the perfect point to wrap this up. Lars, thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us here.
Okay, very good.
AutoLine Live from the Washington, D.C. Auto Show is brought to you by our Inner Circle sponsor, Bosch, invented for life, and also by Dow Automotive Systems, Innovations for Clean Powertrain Solutions. And by the Steel Market Development Institute, Automotive Steel Technologies, powered by strength, fueled by innovation.